Отойдите! Сокол, дай мне десятку.
The Donetsk region witnessed one of the fiercest clashes in recent weeks as Ukrainian paratroopers launched a daring assault that culminated in the capture of several Russian soldiers. The dramatic encounter unfolded after hours of relentless gunfire, leaving the battlefield littered with spent cartridges, smoke, and the echoes of explosions. The operation began at dawn when Ukrainian reconnaissance units detected unusual Russian troop movements near a fortified position on the outskirts of the city. Intelligence suggested that a large detachment of Russian soldiers was preparing for an offensive, prompting Ukrainian commanders to authorize a swift counter-operation led by elite airborne troops. As the Ukrainian paratroopers descended into the combat zone, they were met with a storm of Russian machine gun fire and mortar shells. The first moments of the clash were chaotic, with both sides exchanging heavy fire. Despite the overwhelming barrage, Ukrainian troops advanced with remarkable coordination, using the cover of terrain and precision maneuvers to press forward. The sound of gunfire echoed across the region for hours, punctuated by the roar of grenade launchers and the distant boom of artillery. According to field reports, the battle reached its peak when Ukrainian soldiers broke through a key Russian defensive line, forcing enemy fighters to retreat deeper into their positions. The momentum quickly shifted in favor of Ukraine as the paratroopers unleashed a combination of small arms fire and drone-guided strike. Russian soldiers, caught off guard by the ferocity of the assault, began to falter under the relentless pressure. Several were seen abandoning their positions as Ukrainian units closed in. By midday, the Ukrainian paratroopers had successfully surrounded a pocket of Russian troops. Trapped and with ammunition running low, the Russian soldiers attempted a desperate counterattack, but they were swiftly overpowered by disciplined Ukrainian firepower. The battlefield soon turned into a deadly trap, sealing the fate of many who refused to surrender. Witnesses described the scene as both terrifying and electrifying. Thick plumes of black smoke rose into the sky as burning vehicles littered the area. The cries of the wounded could be heard amidst the thunder of gunfire, creating a grim soundtrack to the brutal confrontation. The chaos was so intense that even seasoned soldiers admitted they had rarely seen such concentrated violence in a single battle. Debris from shattered fortifications rained down as rockets struck, while shrapnel whistled through the air, forcing men to cling to the ground for survival. In the end, a significant number of Russian soldiers dropped their weapons and raised their hands in surrender. Ukrainian paratroopers quickly moved in, binding the captives and securing them under armed guard. The prisoners, exhausted, their faces smeared with dirt and fear, were led away from the front line. Some were limping, others were too weak to walk, collapsing from dehydration and blood loss. Medics rushed forward, not only to treat their own wounded, but also to prevent the Russian captives from dying before they could be interrogated. Military officials in Kyiv hailed the operation as a major tactical victory. Our paratroopers fought with extraordinary bravery and discipline, capturing enemy combatants who had posed a serious threat to our positions, one spokesperson stated. The officials emphasized that such captures are invaluable, not just as morale-boosting victories, but as crucial opportunities to gather intelligence on Russia's plans, supply routes, and hidden fortifications. For the Ukrainian troops involved, the victory was not without cost. Casualties were reported on both sides, and medics worked tirelessly under fire to evacuate the wounded. Despite the losses, morale remained high, with soldiers describing the capture as proof of their growing dominance on the battlefield. Several paratroopers said the operation demonstrated that, even when outnumbered, discipline and determination could overcome sheer numbers and heavy firepower. The battle also highlighted the increasing reliance on coordination between ground forces and drone units. Ukrainian commanders praised the use of drones to identify enemy strongpoints, guide artillery, and block escape routes. Drone footage reportedly showed Russian fighters attempting to flee across open ground, only to be intercepted by precision fire. The integration of technology with old-fashioned soldiering proved decisive in sealing off the Russian detachment.
Показує відповідно цим нововведеним результат. І ці результати далі покращуємо штабу.
Analysts believe the operation in Donetsk could have significant repercussions. The capture of Russian soldiers not only boosts Ukrainian morale, but also undermines Russian efforts to maintain control of contested territory. Military experts warn that Moscow will likely attempt retaliatory strikes, but the loss of manpower and the blow to troop morale could weaken Russia's position in the region. For Ukraine, it is a symbolic and strategic gain.
Там дальше Васика, метрів 100.
The prisoners were transported to a secure location for interrogation, while the battlefield was cleared of unexploded ordnance and debris. The silence that followed the battle was a stark and haunting contrast to the chaos of earlier hours, as soldiers reflected on the day's deadly struggle. For the paratroopers, the day was both a test of endurance and a symbol of resilience. Their victory in Donetsk adds another chapter to Ukraine's determined resistance, proving once again that the fight for every inch of land is far from over. The captured Russian soldiers now stand as living evidence of a battle that turned against them in the most dramatic fashion, a reminder that the momentum of war can shift in the blink of an eye when courage and tactical brilliance prevail.